Listen, that's not what I meant. Let me explain.
Let go!
No, I'm not letting you leave.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Disney characters who would be a terrible date.
How typical. Thank you, Jones.
For this list, we'll be looking at the worst fictional folks from the studio's animated films that we would not want to go out with. We know some of these characters die in their movies, but for our purposes, we're discussing them in the context of when they were alive. Which of these characters would you dread going on a date with? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Prince Florian, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Good day. Oh!
Hello.
Oh!
Did I frighten you?
If we had to choose one Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs character to go out with, Prince Florian wouldn't be our first pick, or our 10th. After all, he's a pretty forgettable presence in the film.
One heart tenderly beating, ever entreating.
We only see him a couple of times, and he comes across rather one-dimensional on the whole. Now we know the protagonist is rather taken with him, and we get it. He's cute, and okay, yes, he can sing.
One song my heart keeps singing.
Still, we can't imagine he'd be the most captivating date around. Plus, that kissing the very much not awake Snow White ordeal is a little bit too hard to overlook. Number 9. Clayton Tarzan.
We must find him.
Oh, Professor, you are here to find gorillas, not indulge some girlish fantasy.
There are several reasons why we'd say absolutely not to a romantic outing with Clayton. For one thing, he has zero respect for nature and animals. And he's lying to everybody for most of the movie, but his true colors are dark. It goes without saying, but a person who's willing to exploit gorillas for profit is not someone we need around.
But I couldn't have you making a scene when we put your furry friends in their cages.
Why?
Why? For £300 sterling a head.
Plus, even if you put that aside, his personality isn't all that appealing. He's violent and thinks he's better than everyone. That's not the kind of energy one needs on a date. We'd much rather spend our time with Tarzan. Number 8. Maleficent, Sleeping Beauty.
Why, it's Maleficent. What does she want here?
Well, quite a glittering assemblage, King Stephen.
Picture it. You meet Maleficent for a nice candlelit soiree. Soon, you say the wrong thing, and you're cursed to die at the hands of a spinning wheel. Talk about things going awry. Perhaps that sounds dramatic, but look at the precedent set in Sleeping Beauty. That is literally how the vicious villain overreacts when she's not invited to baby Aurora's christening.
Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die.
And don't even get us started on her ability to turn into a dragon. We definitely don't want to risk linking up romantically with her, especially since we don't know any good fairies who can help us in the event of disaster.
You poor simple fools, thinking you could defeat me, the mistress of all evil.
Number 7. Cruella de Vil, 101 Dalmatians.
My only true love, darling. I live for furs. I worship furs. After all, is there a woman in all this wretched world who doesn't?
If there is a song out there warning people about how terrifying someone is, run from said person. In this case, immediately hide your dogs too, for reasons that are obvious. Roger sings about Cruella being a spider waiting for the kill, probably not even realizing how spot on he is at first.
Cruella, Cruella, she's like a spider waiting for the kill.
And she proves him right with her horrid attitude and unspeakable plan for those adorable pups. So why would we get tangled in her web? Can you imagine a day that's supposed to be romantic in Cruella's company? Something tells us she'd spend it discussing her furs. Or worse, she'd force us to accompany her on a quest to find more of them. No thank you.
You idiots! You fools! Oh, you imbecile!
Shut up.
Number 6. Mother Gothel, Tangled.
Rapunzel,
Yes?
don't ever ask to leave this tower again.
When choosing somebody to go out with, you'd presumably want their core values to align with yours. That's why Mother Gothel isn't a viable option. Let's start by stating the obvious. She takes Rapunzel, lies to her about her entire life, and refuses to let her explore the world.
From your mumsy, on your own you won't survive. Sloppy, underdressed, immature, clumsy, please, they'll eat you up alive.
As if that wasn't bad enough, she doesn't truly care for the protagonist, at least not as much as she cares about mooching off her hair's magical properties. A lot of this speaks to Gothel's over-the-top aversion to aging and death. So if you're looking for a partner to happily grow old with, she's not your gal. Plus, we cannot overstate how creepy and passive-aggressive she is.
You want me to be the bad guy? Fine. Now I'm the bad guy.
Number 5. Prince Hans of the Southern Isles, Frozen. Do not, we repeat, do not, under any circumstances sing a duet with this man. And definitely don't accept any proposals from him.
Can I say something crazy? Will you marry me?
Can I say something even crazier? Yes!
Hans is about as deceitful a human as they come, duping Anna and proceeding to completely betray her in a bid to overtake Arendelle. He's cold-hearted and just awful, so the last thing any of us should be doing is dating him.
I, on the other hand, am the hero who is going to save Arendelle from destruction.
You won't get away with this.
Oh, I already have.
Seriously, he'd probably try to charm us with some trip or cute drive around town, while preying on any insecurity he can spot. All the while, he'd be scheming to steal from us and our loved ones. Or worse. We'll pass.
Anna? But she froze your heart.
The only frozen heart around here is yours.
Number 4. Scar, the Lion King.
Respected, saluted, and seen for the wonder I am. Yes, my teeth and ambitions are bad. Be prepared.
Be prepared to swipe left and stay as far away from Scar as possible, that is. The fact that he's an animal notwithstanding, we can't ignore how he's more than willing to sacrifice his own family to obtain power. Not only is he responsible for his brother Mufasa's brutal demise, he then proceeds to blame his young nephew Simba. Who would do something like that?
No one ever means for these things to happen. But the king is dead. And if it weren't for you, he'd still be alive.
Look, there's no denying that Scar is among the most captivating Disney villains around. He's menacing, heartless, condescending, and will betray anyone to get his way. Of course, those very same traits mean he would be one of the worst possible people to go bowling, hiking, or anywhere else with.
You can't do that.
I am the king. I can do whatever I want.
If you were half the king Mufasa was, you...
Number 3. Gaston, Beauty and the Beast.
She's the one. The lucky girl I'm going to marry.
But she's...
the most beautiful girl in town.
I know, but...
that makes her the best. And don't I deserve the best?
We don't know about you, but we prefer our romantic prospects not to be total jerks. Sadly, that excludes Gaston from the running. This is one guy who only thinks about himself and has some seriously sexist beliefs. Lest we forget how he's only interested in Belle for her looks, or how he treats her dad Maurice. Boo! We can see it now. We go on a moonlit beach walk with him, but he ruins the ambiance by rambling on about his muscles and how many eggs he eats.
To help me get large. And now that I'm grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a barge.
His character just exudes more toxic masculinity than we can bear. We'd even say no one's egos is incredibly big as Gaston's.
No one plots like Gaston, takes cheap shots like Gaston,
plans to persecute harmless crackpots like Gaston.
Number 2. Jafar, Aladdin. If you look up the term red flag, we bet a picture of Jafar would pop up. Okay, fine, it wouldn't, but it should, because he's not good date material by any stretch of the imagination.
You will order the princess to marry me.
I will order the princess to... But you're so old.
But actions speak louder than words, so let's look at just some of what he does in Aladdin. There's the way he doesn't hesitate to use hypnosis on the Sultan, and his particularly unsettling behavior towards Jasmine.
A beautiful desert bloom such as yourself should be on the arm of the most powerful man in the world. What do you say, my dear?
There's also his obsession with becoming all-powerful, which leads to him using Genie's services for less than noble purposes, and his ill treatment of others. We just know he'd never take us on a dreamy magic carpet ride, let alone for any sort of pleasant night.
Things are unraveling fast now, boy! Get the point?
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Prince Charming, Cinderella. He'd probably be more focused on our footwear than anything else.
Goodbye.
No, wait. Come back. Oh, please come back. I don't even know your name. How will I find you? Wait! Please wait!
Yzma, the Emperor's New Groove. She's iconic, but most of the date night conversation would revolve around her hatred of Cusco.
Does he? A little to the left.
Cusco, the Emperor's New Groove. Something tells us it would be the Cusco show.
Hate your hair. Not likely. Yikes, 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 and let me guess, you have a great personality. Is this really the best you could do?
Evil Queen, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. We wouldn't even accept an apple from her, so a whole date is out of the question.
To taste the apple in my hand, a breath will still, a blood congeal. Then I'll be perished in the land.
Ernesto de la Cruz, Coco. We wouldn't want to remember any encounter with him. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Judge Claude Frollo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
What are you doing?
I was just imagining a rope around that beautiful neck.
I know what you're imagining.
What's your ideal date? Does it involve sitting down with someone who acts righteous when they're anything but? If yes, spend a night out on the town with Frollo. But if your idea of romance is, say, having a nice dinner with someone who views you as an equal and engaging in stimulating conversation, then we suggest you decline any invite from him. We can't see past what he does to Quasimodo's mom, or the way he mistreats Quasi.
How dare you defy me?
You mistreat this poor boy the same way you mistreat my people. You speak of justice, yet you are cruel to those most in need of your help.
Silence!
Justice!
That's saying nothing of the way he harms anyone who's different from him, or how he holds Esmeralda responsible for his own lust. Close-minded and hypocritical, Frollo is the worst of the worst. There's no way in hellfire we'd spend a minute alone with him.
Choose me or your pyre. Be mine or you will burn.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.